Aware and beware. Today, let's go and see messages from Spirit. What should you be aware of? What should you be aware of? Messages of warning and messages of good things to look forward to. When I say warning, just things to keep in mind as a caution. Good advice is always helpful. Always useful. I just noticed all the cat hairs. Yes, this is a place where I have animal spirits all the way around. If you're a subscriber to Mystic Moons, thank you for being part of the channel. If you're new, then welcome. I will also be offering paid readings if anyone is interested. You can either go for a full reading, or if you want to just do a mini reading, that's fine too. Just send some love over my way, either through Cash App or buy me a coffee. My channel isn't monetized, so I do appreciate the support. Let's see the first message that we'll get now that everything is shuffled. There's one card. Let's get a second card. So mentally unstable and pet friendly. Well, there is that clause for pets, right? What do they call them? Well, this is just about everyone who I know. Pet friendly and mentally unstable. Maybe it's everybody who you know as well. All right. So let's see if we can't narrow this message down a bit. Oh, thank you for the like. So you have pet friendly, mentally unstable. I'm going to pick 4 cards. Let's see. Card underneath here is what's calling me more. A card over here is calling me. And a card in this area is calling me. All right. I have spring where I am. It is springtime. I have talented, I have tenderness, and I have hate. Someone is going back and forth between love and hate, wanting to care and being envious of probably the very things that inspire tenderness around here. So spring is a timing card too. Could also be to spring to action. Let's go and see some more information. I'm going to pull out 3 tarot. I have Ace of Swords, Ten of Swords, and I have 3 of Wands. Somebody's about to go and embark upon something that's a bit foolhardy. Is this your energy? Is this energy coming towards you? These messages are aware and beware. I just realized I was pushing something on the side where probably my camera doesn't go. It's like trying to make the most out of this format. All right, so I have, hello, Charlie. Oh, yeah, she's hot on your trail. She is hot on your trail. Remember, keep it neutral. Keep it neutral. Don't give her any more information. You already fed her a lifetime. Vicious. And hello. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name. Is it Cow? Cow? Anyway, CM. Hello. Nice to see you. Sorry for not being able to pronounce your name correctly. But it's very interesting. But yeah, remember, don't give her any information, Shireen. Keep it neutral. Don't be positive. Don't be negative. Just be blank. Let her, whatever she's going on, let her just stare back into the void. I would just keep her guessing. You know, yeah. As I just said, I just feel like the whole thing about it is that she is pumping information. That's all. And don't be predictable. Don't be reactive. You've given her enough information. Now just be a closed book. And don't give her any emotion. Don't give her positive. Don't give her negative. Just, say that you're busy, or if she wants to talk to you, just busy. You didn't see it, just busy. Yeah. I mean, all these people that like to go and blow things up into having scenes or nasty words or this or that. I mean, you don't need it. We all don't need it. But that's all that she's doing. There are plenty of people that have space for that drama. Why? I don't know, but they do. Don't feed it. Don't feed it. She won't have anything to fall back onto but her own words and her own actions. That's the main thing. Well, do what you feel called to. I mean, if you want to unfollow her, unfollow her. The main thing is, no matter what she does to you, you just be neutral. Because that's also, too, what they can't stand the most. No impact, not worth confronting, not worth this, not worth that. Well, there's nothing wrong about following someone or unfollowing someone. And then, as I said, that woman is hot on your trail. It's I just feel her energy very strongly, that's all. And I feel her greed. She's very greedy about you. And when someone's greedy for something, the way to really make an impact is to cut it off. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's all that it is. Don't feed into whatever sort of hysterics that people have. Because also too, well, even here we have mentally unstable in this collective reading. Someone who goes back and forth between feeling positivity and feeling negativity towards someone talented. They both admire and they detest. They want to engage and they want to end. And it keeps them at the forefront. Oh, yeah, this is what I have, someone who goes back and forth between love and hate, essentially. They want to create and they want to destroy. They want to nurture. They definitely don't want more than anything to be ignored. Ah, yeah, Selena. But that's very much what we have here. Yeah, I do. That Spanish singer, right? That one that it was a female manager too, wasn't it? I didn't watch the movie or anything. Yeah. So pretty, so talented, worked so hard. And someone who was very close to her. See, it's another thing too, going back to that whole, like what you brought up is a perfect example. The perfect example of why you do have to watch the people who are closest to you. Unfortunately, or the people who try to get close to you, people who try and create bonds of closeness prematurely. You know, something you just have to watch out for. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes you have to be like, what is this? Sometimes people admire something so much they get close to it. And then when they see just how much, even more, how vibrant you are, more than what they imagined, or how other people react to you, they get worse. They get more, almost like strangle energy. Well, Selena was a beautiful, beautiful soul. She definitely was, and it's horrible that her work, her life was cut short like that. Even more scary when you think about the people who you have around you. Let's go and pick up some more messages to be aware of. Mm. Yeah, I would just be, well, I already told you what I felt about that Aquarius. I think she's feeding off of you too, by the way. Like a vampire, vampiric energy. There's something about it. I don't know because I'm not pulling on it, but just saying. That's why they said you have to cut it off. You can't feed her. Can't feed her any more information. Can't feed her any positive or negative emotion. Yeah, there's something about it. The main message I got was not to feed her. Yes. That's all I could say is just don't feed her. Whatever she seeks to you, trying to get, don't feed her that. Oh, same here. Same here. I think, when did we first meet? Was it October or was it September? It was either September or October. It's been a very, very long time now. Ah, November. I know it was during the fall. Yeah, it's been quite a long time. Yes. And probably those questions, although I didn't timestamp it or, put any particular, I don't really like add any identifying marks to my lives. But I'm sure that those lives are still there if you looked at the day in which you came. Yes, I remember. No, I think that's how readings are because even the notion of time is such a unique thing. And then when you're dealing about energy work is also a very unique thing. It's not necessarily like we predict something and bam, it comes true. But I really do think time isn't linear. Present time, past time, future time, parallel worlds, how we act in different dimensions. I mean, I do think that there is more to this reality than just what we see, and therefore, time itself, the notion of time itself, is in reality much like this, like a facet, many shimmering parts. Yes. It's all, I mean, all these things, being aware of it, are just only things that we can raise our own vibration or our own awareness of. The fact that there's so much that's going on right in front of us and we don't know. And also, too, and this is perhaps one of the most interesting things I find about using energy work and tools, regardless if you use cards, if you use smoke, if you use crystals, regardless of what you use, is the fact that literally whatever message you need to know is what comes out. You can ask something, oh, what about this and that? And about that subject, what will come out will be what you need to know as well. That's something I've noticed as well. It's like whatever message, like there could be a message that's spot on, but there could also be a message that's different. And that's because the message about your question, or not asking the right sort of question, but that's the answer. I think they can't be. I think in some ways, there are sometimes, there's a bunch of things that I think go on. I think it's the well, one thing could be the subject itself, like the person, if you're asking about a person or a situation, that person or situation could be in flux. Exactly. That's exactly it, how it's read and interpreted. I mean, somebody can go and pull the same exact card, especially when it comes with tarot, and they can view it in so many different ways. And I would say all the ways, well, I can't comment on what would be valid for someone else. I can only talk to how I would see and regard it. Then the layers that are in there, the positive attributes, the negative attributes, and what's there. Which is what I think is interesting as well about the aware and beware messages. Especially when we're talking about just general collective messages. If I was to do another collective message, I have Empress. So I view the Empress, if I was to put her to a zodiac sign, I would put her between Taurus and Cancer. The Empress to me has both of those energies equally as strong. Also, to someone who's creative, someone who can build things around them, somebody who has ambiance, who can create ambiance, who believes in ambiance, someone who has the ability to create the more softer things in life. Now, this person could be an older woman, especially as we are in Mother's Day. This could also just be a very accomplished woman. So let's forget about whether older or younger. We're talking about someone who has abilities and someone who's able to tap into those abilities. And the abilities that she has, regardless if they are actual things that she can make with her hands, food, clothes, designing, gardening, directing. There is direction here with the Empress. There is leadership quality from the Empress. Yes, I mean, as I said, I feel Empress is equally both Cancerian placements and Taurus placements. So bottom of the deck energy, I have King of Swords. And that King of Swords, the Empress could be viewed. I think that there are cards, especially with the major arcana, that you can view to, many different types of energies. I think it just comes down to like how you would view it. Like for me, when it comes to the air signs, so there's obviously the star, which is associated with Aquarius, and I can see that. I also view the Fool with Aquarius, even though the Fool can also be all signs. I see Fool as Aquarius. I see, of course, the Lovers is Gemini. I also see the Magician as very Gemini energy, strong Gemini energy. If I was going to go and say another card for Libra besides Justice, and this is something that I'm hesitant about, but I would say I would see very strong Libra-esque qualities in Judgment. And that's also, too, because of the energy I feel from the Libra collective. So that's what I think as well, when it comes down to it. You can go by the standard definitions, but for me, with cards, to me, they feel like portals, like energy portals. They actually have light, they have a color, they have a vibration, they have a tone, they have a hue to them. And if I was assigning them to zodiac signs, each zodiac collective as well, they have their own unique taste, trend, characteristics. Right, so the Libra is characteristically Justice. And I think Libra as the Ace of Swords is very accurate too. I think classic Libra energy, Justice and Ace of Swords. Hard to ignore Libra energy. Strong Libra energy, very, very eye-catching, very direct, very immediate. Something you'll swing your head to the side to catch a glimpse of, something like that. Well, you definitely should go and explore. I think everybody should explore various energy tools. Get yourself tarot cards if you're called to it. I think also to invest in some sort of form of sound healing, whether it's a singing bowl or these tingshas, tuning forks, crystal bowls, glass bowls. Get something. You could also take a whole bunch of glass cups and you can fill those glass cups up with water to various amounts in each one, and you can go and ting out the vibrations of those. So there's various different ways that you can go and tune into them, but they're just tools. Like a dictionary is a tool, right? A tool for you to have a wider vocabulary and all the many ways that you can use a word in a sentence. And that to me is no different and no more than what the tarot is. Yeah, I mean, I think that sound is a very powerful thing because it's vibration. I mean, smoke is also a very powerful thing. Incense is a powerful thing. Fire is a bit combustible, a very powerful thing. You could also think about, too, everyone can go on, look at your natal chart. And look at your sun sign, your moon sign. Look at your signature sign. Like when you take your whole chart all together, do you have a signature sign? Or perhaps some people don't. They have actually that much like evenly distributed energies. Maybe you're more geared towards fire, you're more geared towards air. Yes, I cleanse my cards quite a bit. I have some other cards I haven't used in a while, which I'm cleansing. I think I will bring them back in about a month or two. And also, too, I've been experimenting for a while with creating my own cards and my own messages. Like this is something that I've been using for well over a year. Oh, water and air. Well, that's the thing that's interesting. And that's also, too, why I always say when you start to going into your own energy work, right? I mean, it's good to go and take, I think, cues from others. But really, the best way is to go and figure out your own path. Like my way of meditating may not be your way of meditation. It doesn't have to be. And my way of reading the cards doesn't have to be your way of reading the cards as well. There's a standard, there are standard meanings, yes. But then how you evolve those meanings and work with them are just as unique as how we all choose to speak, how we choose to share our personalities. Exactly, it's creativity. That's the whole thing. And also, too, I mean, even the fact that, I mean, I'm just saying, Shireen, with the fact that you like to cook. And one of the very most basic forms of alchemy is to make food, right? That's a very powerful thing. Thank you. I actually hurt my hand at some point in which I couldn't bend this finger. And I got a lot of flexibility with it. I like to cook too. But I like all those like homey things. I like to cook. I like to design things. I like to make things. I like to design and sew. I'm not crazy about cleaning, I'll admit that. Not into cleaning, but I like to cook. I like to create. I like to sew. I like to build things. Yeah, my hands are better. And I do miss my long nails. I had long nails for a really long time. It takes me about 3 to 4 months to grow nails. I did have red nails all last year. I had red nails and I had, ah, I'm sorry you experienced that. Oh yeah, send me pictures. I love pretty nails too. Check out, I think the last time I had long nails was the readings from last summer, a year ago. A year ago, I had really long nails and I did my nails really, really pretty. I thought they looked like koi fish. I know. I actually took down my nails in January, I think. I took them down around January, February because I've been moving and I've had to move things with my storage and I've had to pack and do all these things with my hands. And nothing is worse than when you break a nail and then it breaks on the skin. And I was so scared of that happening to me and actually like breaking like, in the midpoint of my nail that I just took them down. And I'm still sort of doing stuff with my hands, still moving things around. And I think the longest I've had my nails are probably about that long. Yeah, it's just like, when you have those Tupperware jars and, I mean, those Tupperware containers, and they have those little flippy lids, and then you go and you move the lids to go and take there, like that would go and break nails. There are some other things, just like very standard things that when I pack and when I move, like my nails just break. But I was afraid of them breaking on the skin. I know, and so many times too, it's funny. I broke a nail just by being in a rush with the laundry and just grabbing things out of the dryer, and I broken a nail just reaching into the, inside the laundry thing. Like the simplest things, if you're not careful, you can break a nail. Yeah, it's funny that how many people don't like long nails, but it's not their opinion. And then they're talking about cleanliness or things like that. I mean, come on, you can have hygiene with long nails. It's called being clean. I just like long nails. I like the different way you move your hands when you have them. And I do think you have to be more considerate about your environment and you have to go and pause your actions. You just can't go and do anything in haste because you can literally break a nail. Right. I mean, I have one of those like nail brushes, the little ones that are maybe about that long. And then you just like, scrub it. Well, some people wouldn't be hygienic with long nails or short nails. They're just not that hygienic. But I do think that the nice thing about nails is they're literally like your own your own jewelry in one way. I don't know, it's something about that. It's just a different way of adorning yourself. And they're an interesting form of adornment. Oh, I'm definitely a long nail fan. You know what I love most too about long nails? I like the way that when you have short nails, you have to keep on pushing your cuticles back to make it seem like you have nice nails. But then when you have long nails, once they get to a certain length, it doesn't matter if you push your cuticles back or not, they still look good. I like that too. That's probably the laziest part of the nails that I like. You don't have to bother pushing back your cuticles, you just let them grow and run. I think even when I did cat rescuing, I think I had pretty long nails. Hello, Leslie. How are you? For me, I like silver. I like silver a lot, even though my silver is falling off. I like orangey. I don't like red red. Red red doesn't do me that well. But orangey red I really like. And I love those purpley pink glitter ones. Those are what I like. I like I'm wondering if purpley pink is the right phrase, but it's almost like a mauve pink. Maybe that's a better one. Like a mauvish pink, an old rose type of pink, but a little deeper than that. I keep on trying to play with bright colors. I think I can pull off, and I also like gray, just a standard gray, a flat gray. Gray also goes pretty well. I do like dark nails. I've had a dark blue and I've had really, really like a dark forest green. Each time I think that I'm getting black, I usually order them online. It turns out to be just a very dark shade of something. Happy Mother's Day, Leslie. Of course, happy Mother's Day to everybody watching. I am doing well, Leslie. I'm actually doing the best I've done in quite a while. I've been sick. The flu about more than 2 weeks ago. And I think my voice is finally getting back. Finally getting back on my feet. Yeah, I will check out the yeah, I feel much better. I feel oh, you know what's you just reminded me with the nail polish. Thank you. Oh, it's miserable. I haven't been that sick in a while. I haven't been that sick since COVID. Like literally out for a long time like that since COVID. Another nail shade that I really like is copper. I love the copper shade as well. Copper, not so much bronze and not gold, but copper with a reddish tinge to it. So I guess those are my favorite shades. Silver, pewter, gray. I do like the sparkly pink, like the loud glitter pink. Do you have a favorite shade of nail polish, Leslie? I know we deviated a little bit, but gold is a pretty shade. I think there's something just about metallics that are so nice. Ah, the French ones. haven't tried to do the French nail shades. But they're very neat. It does. It's very neat. And of course, I do love that the rosy colors that they put on it on the part where the finger is. Very soft pinks. I need to do my nails again. They're chipping. I know I've seen a bottle that I like somewhere around here. My cats keep on moving it around, and then I keep on picking it up, and then it keeps on getting knocked to the floor. I know I saw it at least 3 times so far today, but it's eluded me. What's the difference with a Russian manicure? Is that I haven't used gel nail polish yet. Oh, they cut your cuticles. Oh, I'll go and see what that looks like. What does the gel do to your nails, Leslie? Gel, is that like nail polish that has the gel, like the stuff that goes from like $15 up? Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense with cutting the cuticles. I mean, I know that the healthiest manner, they say, for nail polish is literally taking coconut oil and an emery board, filing your nails down, and then putting something like henna over your nails. And there's other things that naturally dye your nails. I forget what they are now, other than henna. Yeah, all that nail polish, it's amazing how expensive it is. Like I've just noticed in the supermarkets where I am, the gel nail polish literally I think starts at $16 a bottle. I know, it really is. And even the like the Sally Hansen nail polish, which is, kind of like the basic nail polish, those are like maybe you could find it online at Walmart for $5 or $6 on sale for like the closeouts. But typically the Sally Hansen nail polish is about maybe $10 to $12 around here. It is. Everything is so amazingly expensive. I mean, I'm in the Northeast. I'm in New York, and everything is really, really, really expensive. A cup of coffee is $6. It is. You can't find any nail polish under $5 here in the stores. Where are you, Leslie? How's Chicago doing? I mean, I imagine all the cities must be overpriced. I mean, no place can be safe from everything just being super expensive. I'm a little outside the city, but where I am, they still charge city prices, and there are a lot of people that come up here on the weekends. So everything is still really expensive, but it's I don't know, it's city prices, and they just say, well, just go and take the train or take the bus, go back and forth. Yeah, New York, everything is really super, super, super expensive. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why or where or how they foresee all this going down with everything so expensive. There's even this brand of bread here, in which they call it Dave's bread, and it's like organic bread. Something else they have some attribute for it besides being organic. Maybe it's like organic GMO free bread, and they had it on sale for 2 months for $5, $4.89, and the normal price of that bread is about $9. And they recently raised up the price of the bread back to something like $8.98 or $8.99, something like that. And that's like a loaf of bread. And also, too, now if you go to the bakery, the local bakeries have been charging $8 to $12, $13 for a small loaf of bread that is freshly baked. I know, it's crazy, just for bread. There's nothing you can get in the stores except maybe, let's say, like Maria Goya cookies for like $1.50. Those are like the most cheapest things, but if you want a bag of potatoes, that's like $8. If you want a bunch of bananas, the bananas first were like 49 cents, first 39 cents a pound, 49 cents a pound, 59 cents a pound, 69 cents a pound. Where I am now, it's $1 a pound. $1 a pound. And this is all last year. They hiked up all these prices last year. So, I mean, it's almost at the point where you're there ready for your, ready to go and say, like, give me my containers or give me a plot of land and let me go and, like, create my summer garden. But then they're not even giving you the time or the space to do that. It is. It is. I last year I was looking out for other apartments, and I went to go and see this this guy actually flagged me down. He was there like asking if I was looking for a place, which of course I wasn't. Well, I mean, I was interested in finding a place, but I wasn't actually looking for a place that day. And anyway, this what do they call them? Those people that go and they own, like, they buy a whole bunch of rental units. He was like a rental management company with like multiple, going around buying portfolio properties to go and rent. And he was from New York City, and he was in the process of buying up a whole bunch of land up in the nearby counties. And he showed me this unit for rent that he created. He actually took one apartment, and, like, I couldn't tell. He took one apartment and he cut it up into two. It must have been a one bedroom. He took a one bedroom apartment, he cut it up into two. And I doubt both of them, one was like probably 400 feet and the other one was probably like 200 square feet. And he wanted $2,000 for the one that was 200 square feet. And that one was so small, the shower unit, you couldn't even put your hands on your hips, with your elbows out. It really, really, and then he was talking about like the marble countertop, like this little tiny, almost like this. What I use for this is about the same size as what he was bragging about for his marble countertop. They don't, but $2,000 for an apartment, a unit that he took a 1-bedroom or maybe even a studio and he cut it up into 2 units. And he literally took the closet of one space and he made it into a shower. And 200 square feet, $2,000 a month. It's just crazy. I can only think that would have to backfire at some point because, if you're there with renters can pick up and move. Ultimately, they're going to be stuck with that property, yeah. And if you want to rent a small house, you can rent a small house that's about 600 square feet for about, maybe you could find one for under $4K. A 600 square foot standalone cabin, cottage. That's the prices that they have for that. But they try and take, like, let's say a normal sized house, like a normal sized 2-bedroom in the area I'm in, and they want about maybe $6,000 a month to rent that. And, as I said, you could go to New York City and commute through there, but even New York City, the job market in New York City is not that strong. There are jobs that pay, but the competition is very high. There's also that at-will employment condition that they have, that basically they can get rid of you at any time with no warning and no reason. You have no job security. They're just not creating things that are very sustainable. But anyway, enough to talk about how things are so expensive. Yeah. I was almost going to go to Chicago twice. Once I was going to go because there was the art university there that I was thinking of applying to. And then the second time I was thinking about going to Chicago was, I don't know quite what happened to the mission, or the company, but I know that Sears was headquartered in Chicago. And then there was a time period when Sears was transitioning over to making everything digital. Like they really want to boost their online presence. And they were hiring out a whole bunch of people and also recruiting for people to come over to Chicago. And I think the only thing that scared me about that was just the fact that the winter is so cold. Because I'm a summer baby. I like things warm. I was born in the desert. I was born when it was ridiculously hot outside. So the cold weather of Chicago legitimately scared me. And then somebody was telling me that with Chicago, if you there's a bridge, and if you drive past over that bridge, then housing is cheaper. Yeah, I don't have the torty-tord birds in the sky accent. I don't put R's on my A's. I think it's because I've been so many places that I don't quite have the accent of any one particular place, other than the fact I have American accent. And I probably have, and I do most likely have very distinct American mannerisms. But yeah, I can't stand the cold, even though here is cold. And I would say too, nothing is as miserable as some places in New York City in the winter or fall when you're walking and you have that unabridged wind that cuts right across the bay. That's pretty freezing and that's pretty merciless. But yeah, I try not to do cold. Yeah, I was born in the desert and I was born when it was really, really hot outside. During COVID, I lived right outside the city, and I had this really, really big loft. And that loft was a pain to heat, but it was so cold. And then I actually got a grant to go and help out with my heating, so I kept the whole thing at 85 degrees. It was super expensive, but I was able to keep everything super warm. Yes, I like things very, very warm. "85 degrees for me is perfect." The warmer it is, the happier I am. Well, you know what, too? I like being warm, and then I like just wearing comfortable clothes. Nothing that necessarily constricts. I used to really, really like, I still do, spicy food, but my tolerance for spicy has gone down. I'm a fan of soup, though. There's been, with the soups, I use a lot of nuts in it, like cashews for seasoning, or coconut as well, to add flavor to the broth. You should definitely go and play around with it. And if you don't want coconut in actual broth, you could put it in one of those tea, those loose tea metal canisters. But coconut in the broth, cashews in the broth, they definitely add. I don't. I used to eat fish when I was very, very little, but I stopped probably before I was 12. I give fish to my kitties. So they had a tuna treat earlier today. They liked that a lot. I have a big can of salmon to give them too. That's another treat that I have for them. For me, the hardest thing when I started becoming a vegan to give up was literally dairy and cheese, ice cream and cheese. Those were the hardest things to give up. And I think, too, they were the hardest things to give up because with dairy, there is this enzyme called casein, I believe, or casein. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it now, but it's spelled C-A-S. There could be an E in there, but it's C-I-S. Could be E-I-N. And that protein is literally addiction. It forms addiction to dairy. It becomes our comfort food. We feel comforted by it. And that's why, because literally that enzyme in dairy, that casein, it forms, well, it's comforting when you eat it. So I would say that if you ever were to become a vegan, those would probably be the hardest foods to give up, be the comfort foods. And definitely dairy would fall a part of that, be a part of that. I liked Cheez-Its quite a bit, particularly at that time. I had three snacks. One was I liked peanuts and raisins. I liked Cheez-Its, and I liked Ben and Jerry's Chunky Monkey ice cream, the banana ice cream. Right, the thing about whenever you are just switching your diet around, go slow, so it won't be a shock to your system. Because I know that the things that I eat, if I was to give it to someone else, their body probably wouldn't be able to, to digest it properly. Like even the amount of nuts that I eat or the amount of fruit that I eat, things of that nature, you'd have to ease yourself into and ease yourself out. Otherwise, then you'd have probably a stomach ache or constipation or diarrhea or something like that, because your system just can't digest it. Your gut can't handle that. I think every so often I go and maybe indulge with something like a vegan ice cream treat. I also like going and taking, like, freezing bananas and cashews, and grinding that up in the blender and adding some maple syrup. So I like stuff like that. Or maybe taking blueberries and maple syrup. That's kind of how I get my sweet fix in. There is one type of cookie I still like. It's a cookie that's either imported from Sweden or Denmark, some European country. Right. Well, you have to get your protein from somewhere. And you can get all the protein you need through nuts, but also too, you need to be able to acclimate yourself to it. Because again, if you just dive into someone else's diet, your gut won't be able to process it, most likely. I mean, think about it this way. If someone gave you a huge bag of raisins, maybe that person could eat a huge bag of raisins, but could you eat a few bags of raisins? And also, too, think about with raisins. Raisins are basically the grapes with the sugars that are intensified from a normal grape, right? They're even a higher sugar content than if they were fresh. And of course, raisins are also a good source of iron, blah, blah, blah. There are benefits to it. But if you sat down and you ate a huge bag of dried raisins, I could guarantee you that won't end nice. For someone else, they could be used to that because they've been getting their iron. They've also been getting their fruit content that way. And I think it's the same thing with nuts. Nuts are very powerful. I mean, just eating it, the richness of them. You don't want to OD on nuts if you can't handle it. Start off with some nuts and build up. Just also too, if you got like dried papaya, someone gave you a huge bag of dried papaya, obviously you couldn't go to town on that. You have to eat a little bit, a little bit, a little bit at a time until you acclimated yourself to it. But if you have any questions about vegan recipes, I can definitely go and share. Yeah, cashews are really great in soups. And I think coconut's really great in soups too. And another thing that's really interesting as well is I don't know, I like adding like thinking about the five taste elements. You have the sweet, the sour, the salty, and is it the spicy? Is that the five? Sweet, salty, spicy. Is it bitter? I forgot what the so-called five taste elements are. But I like adding things too, like apple cider vinegar or orange juice or lime juice to soups as well. I actually do plan on adding vegan cooking to this channel. I just haven't, because I don't really see the point of having multiple channels. I just haven't gotten around to it. Oh, thank you. Well, let me know too when you go and set up your channel. I will definitely follow and support it as well. I also do make cat food too. So I spend lots of time thinking about the proper way if you want to go and make your cat food, how to go about that. Although I haven't grinded things up, I get that pre-grinded from the butchers when I can. I don't. I don't because the well, goat milk is better than cow milk. And goat milk, a container of goat milk is actually pretty good to have on hand just in case if you ever are curious about like fostering or if you come across abandoned anything, you could go and give it goat milk. It's healthier, it's safer. But with cow milk especially, it's too rich. It'll burn right through the cats. They'll have diarrhea. Cats, dogs, whatever. They'll have diarrhea really quickly with that. You don't want to give them that. Yeah, goat milk is the best if you're going to give any animal any type of milk. Make sure it's goat's milk. Yeah, and even more so too if you find like a baby squirrel or something like that, or even a baby puppy, a baby kitty, a raccoon, baby whatever, baby bird. You definitely don't want to give them cow's milk. Something about the cow's milk and the sugar, it's far too strong for literally anything but a baby cow. But goat milk is a good thing to have on hand. You could have like literally, I think they call it not. I think they could call it Pedialyte, but it's like Pedialyte for kitties. It's like a kit, or it's KMR, kitten milk replacement, and you could just have like milk replacement is actually a pretty good thing to have on hand because with that, I think even in a fix, you could go and give it to baby puppies, baby squirrels. I don't know baby birds, what baby birds take, but there's something about, I think, the kitten milk replacement that's just literally friendly across the board. If you ever think like, maybe you'll find something that's small and helpless and you just want to keep it alive long enough to get it to someone else, you could pick up a heating blanket, a heating pad, and some powdered kitten milk and a little goat's milk. Well, you just never know, right? It's better to have something on hand than not. That's all. It's like, when you reach into your bag of tricks and you have like, I don't know, you have Band-Aids, you have a calculator, you have this, you have that. I'm going to go and get some water. I'll be back in a minute. Well, milk is very strong in general, like cow's milk. It's a very strong, I mean, maybe because it has to be strong because it's, something that feeds something as large as cows. I mean, how much do cows get to be weighed? Like 500 pounds or something? But cow's milk is really, really strong in general. It is. It is. It's cow's mucus and cow spit. I mean, they regurgitate their milk through their, what is it, 3 stomachs, 4 stomachs? I got this really nice incense as a gift. These are like crafted with beeswax. With the cow thing, I think they actually just spit it up. I think with how they make milk is they eat the grass, they put it in one stomach, they puke it up, then they digest it in another stomach, and then they puke it up, and they digest it in the third stomach. But they keep on eating it and puking it, eating it and puking it. Yeah, the only thing about these is once they burn, once you start burning them, you can't turn them down. Someone gifted me this, and they're hand rolled, but they're so expensive too. But it smells great. They really are. They really are very unique. And they're just like beeswax. Right. Really, oh, they smell good. They definitely do. Someone gave me a, sample of their incense. And their packaging is very pretty as well. It's made here in New York, the packaging. I mean, the product too. It's hand rolled. I mean, it's interesting the fact that when so many things are being produced overseas, something like that is over here. But you could think about it as well. How interesting to go and make your own incense using beeswax as a base too, right? Make your own incense, use beeswax as a base. Make it in the shape of those Hershey Kisses. But they do smell great. I got this other really weird incense from a monastery about a month ago, and I didn't even know what kind of incense this is. It all broke, a little tiny, all my sticks broke. By the time I got home, they all broke. They literally, I don't know what it's made out of. It smelled like cinnamon. Yeah, these are, this is an incense stick that broke apart. Yeah, it's entirely condensed. I don't know if it's condensed charcoal or condensed something, but they smell just like cloves and cinnamon. I got it from, I'm trying to think. I think I got it from a place that was right off a Tibetan monastery. And, but the box was like some Indian something or other. I didn't recognize it. Yeah, it's not that. It's actually a stick of incense. When I got home, I was given about 4 or 5 sticks. And by the time I got back, all of them broke, even though I had nothing in my book bag, all of them broke down to this size. So I have a whole bunch of little tiny, but that's how you could tell too that there's something different about how they made these. Well, I can read on anything, Leslie. I do also full readings. I do mini readings. We can go and check up on any sort of question you have about if you want a general reading of what's in your energy, what's coming towards you. Love readings. I know the energy of somebody. Why did they do what they did? What could they be planning on doing in the future? I do readings on work. As I said, we can do long drawn out readings. We could also just go and pull a card or two and see what's there. Yes or no. And you can also check out some of the readings that I've done on the channel for politics, pop culture, zodiac. Yes. There is, in fact, I do readings like that as well. If you're curious about how a relative, a mother, a father, a sibling, a friend sees you, we can go and definitely get any sort of messages or insight about that as well. Is there someone who you feel, Leslie, or someone who you want to connect with, someone who you feel is reaching out to you? Can definitely go and see about that. I can definitely go and connect with your mom. I can definitely do that. I would go and put on my candle for that. And cleanse the area. Sounds good, Shireen. Greedy. Greedy, first and foremost, means hungry. Greedy also means to gorge oneself, overindulge. Yes, we could definitely find out, Leslie. Let me go and turn on my candle. If you'd like to make a donation, send over what you can. Or let's go and do a full reading. Let's do a full reading and see about your mother. I'm going to go and light the candle. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so you can either send a donation through Cash App or through Buy Me a Coffee. Look in the description of the video and you'll find the links there. With Buy Me a Coffee, it's almost like an e-commerce site. You just would go and fill it out. Cash App, you would need that on your phone. So if you don't want to bother through that, probably Buy Me a Coffee is the easiest way. Send a donation of 40 and I'll take a very in-depth reading. And we'll see what messages we have for your mother, from your mother. Okay. If you want private, we could definitely do private. Oh, leave this site to donate when. Well, if you want to do private, we could definitely do a private reading. But do you see the donation? The description is also, the links are also in the description as well. Put your donation through and I can create a private live for you so that I can go and give you a link for that. I see. Putting a little bit of this incense up. The cinnamon and clove. My incense stick, which broke apart into many pieces. Yes, let me know if you found it, Leslie. Just go and cleanse this. So first look in the description of the video. So if you're on the phone or if you're on a computer, I think it literally says something like more, but let me check. Yeah, it should be able to it should just put a pop-up right over the video without taking you from the page. Where it says more. Like if you click more, that should give you the description. Let me know if you're able to find it. Were you able to find it, Leslie? With a description, it should be right after where it has the title. And then maybe there's a little preview from the title, depending upon how it looks on a computer, how it looks on a tablet, how it looks on the phone. And then it says more. Either way, now that we have light, so she did. Well, maybe she'll come back. We will see. We will definitely see. In the meantime, I am curious about these Empress. Yeah, I could definitely go and see that and feel that. In fact, I'll be back in 1 minute. Charlie, I'll be back in 1 minute. Thanks for telling me it's muted. So that means that the cards that I read right here, they went off into nowhere. Well, the thing about energy work is just the fact that it really is taxing. There does have to be an interchange because the energy is so intense. When I do a lot of readings in succession to recharge, I literally have to go to sleep. I mean, I could do a lot of readings at a time, especially after doing these zodiac signs. And for a time period, I was doing these readings every day. I was doing 12 signs a day, like 72 readings a week, just purely on collective energies. But it's exhausting to do so. And then you have to think about, it's like building up a muscle, a spiritual muscle. What are you doing to strengthen it? And then what are you doing to recharge? For me, I recharge by sleeping. Even if it's just a half an hour or an hour, I sleep and then I wake up again. If I have a lot of readings in succession. Anyway, so the Empress. Empress, I have rice bowl. I have knows your name. And I have partner. So I'm not quite sure what this rice bowl is. I'm going to find out. But somebody who knows your name, who is looking at you as a partner. Are they looking at your capacity to give? Or are they wanting to contribute to your comfort? Now, you had the warning signs, right? You said that you found her creepy. Well, I do think we are all connected. And I also do think there is something else going on energetically between the three of you. Something energetically between the three of you. And I don't know if it is something natural between her and you or just something that gets between the radius of her and the Scorpio. Does she naturally go and expand her awareness to anything that comes into her circle? No, I didn't. I'm going to go and look right now. I'll be back in a second. Probably in her case, anybody that comes into the circle, or the area between you and not you, between the Scorpio, she's going to zone in on. She's going to create that energetic loop. So rice bowl. Let's go and get a card for rice bowl. Week. Show off. Somebody has a job which doesn't pay much, but it does have a lot of visibility. This person too has a very bold personality, a bold personality in which if you took it down to actual tangibles, they would not exist. Yeah. And the thing that got me about it was initially He does. It is. Anytime I think that there is union, doesn't have to be, right? There doesn't have to be sexual union, cheating. There doesn't actually have to be like the pants pulled down or the zipper open for cheating to happen. Leading someone on and trying to create emotional investment and emotional ties. Trying to go and create the illusion of wanting more and preparing to give more when that isn't there. There's all these different ways of union and relationships. So knows your name. I have burned bridges. I have grudge. And I have local. Someone close to you has burned their bridges with you. And there's a grudge now. Someone who once was close to you can no longer be close to you, is irritated the fact that they can't be close to you anymore, and yet they're still around you, still close by. On partner, let's see about partner. I have respect. I have crazy. And I have monogamy. It actually feels like two different energies. Knows your name. Is that the same person as partner? Because partner, I have respect, crazy, and monogamy. Someone thinks it's crazy to commit, but they're in committed energy. This person who is in or prepared to be in committed energy has a way of earning income. That income creates a lot of noise. That income is very visible. Very visible, doesn't pay that well, needs a strong personality to carry them through their work. If you're getting those vibes, then those vibes are accurate. Especially with all that water. You must be overwhelmed with the feelings. I have water in 2 of my major placements, and that's, I feel a sad thing. I feel everything too strongly, let alone having a water moon. I give hugs to everybody with a water moon. Let's see, knows your name. Is knows your name and partner the same person? Although you can't see quite here the cards I have for partner, I do have it here. I can only say in her energy that, anybody that comes into her territory, she's going to be zoned on you like one of those red laser lights before the SWAT team comes out. An Aries moon. I'm an Aries moon. I have a fire moon. I want everything now. I can appear patient, but I'm actually quite impatient. Yeah, I remember you told me a Scorpio moon. That's why I said what you feel is accurate. I have significant water. I think I would be over, well, I'm sure you adjust, right? Whatever placements you have, you adjust with it. But I feel with a sappy water Venus and my other water placements, if I had a water moon, I'd probably be like, whoop, wilted. Well, you know my sun sign. And although I have a lot of my planets in air, I have a Cancerian Venus. I'm a big ball of mush, unfortunately, when I get attached. Oh, something. Is this the same person? I have, yes. So literally, I am being, and even it's funny on the other types of like the human design system, I'm evenly split between being extroverted and introverted. Easily split between wanting to retreat and being fine with being, in your face. Yes. I feel like in this knows your name and Empress it's the same person. I don't know who this is with burned bridges. I do think I'm going to go and close this one off and get a new reading because I feel with Aries and the Tower here, Scorpio energy, I think picking up on some other things. All I know is she has a territory. She has a territory and she is guarding and maintaining her territory. And that's what I know there. And she is not hesitant about using all the tools that are available to her to make her point. I love being home. Like for me, I'm the ultimate home buddy. And also too, with my education, I was homeschooled. So, I was home, but of course I was sort of home on the road, but I was, homeschooled. And then when I worked like a normal job, I actually worked remote. I went in for travel, but I worked primarily remote. Like maybe I'd work home for a week or two, and then I go to the office, and then I come back and work for another week or two. And then I like those simple home buddy things. I like gardening. I like taking care of my pets. I like making meals. I like all those things. Yeah, it's funny how quickly people form attachments and how deep those attachments are, and how some people, in order to go and keep being together with that person, they'll accept bad situations. Let's get another message. I don't know what to say other than the other readings I gave. That reading I gave not this morning but yesterday, in which I felt whatever she said wasn't to be trusted. It wasn't real. She wasn't telling the truth. Well, one could say that's why she gave you the free readings. To go and have your ear and tell you that. You know, there's some readings that I've done for people, and I could tell that the person that they're asking for isn't good for them. And then other times I get readings for people and I sense like, you know, it's more like a gray area. Like someone literally cannot be what you need them to be. So it's not like I'm saying to leave that person alone, but to understand that at this point in time, this person is unable, you know, to give you what you need to act as they should towards you. So I think even when people say of who you should pay attention to or shouldn't, I think it comes down to, could that person literally be there for you? Mm. Let's get another message, another general message. Let's see. I think we did lose Leslie, but that's okay. Let's get another message. I'm going to go and first call on the spirits. Let's see what other messages we have on aware and beware. Especially as we're transitioning to the 12th, the full moon in Scorpio. Let's see. Okay. Let's get another general message. Oh, by the way, Shireen, there was a reading that what secret should you know, that actually I did an all signs reading. Did you check it out? I did that reading because I was inspired by what you said. I liked that. What secret should you know? I did that yesterday morning, I think. Of course, I forget what the signs were for Scorpio and Cancer. I actually forget all the messages that were there, but I still think they were interesting. I liked that. I think I'm going to incorporate that also into who's watching you, moon messages. I'm going to add, what secrets should you know? All right, let's see. But another aware and beware. I have family. Let's see, family. And in fact, for family, I'm going to go and pull. I posted it yesterday. I did it yesterday, and I don't know if I put all signs on it. I'm not really that careful about the tags and the titles and things like that, which I know I should, so people can find it. But I actually don't really bother with that stuff right now. I haven't bothered in over almost a year. Like, I know I should put tags in and more descriptive things. Yeah, I did it all signs, so I don't recall how I broke it up either. You may have to skip around. But yeah, check it out. You did. You asked me, what secret should you know? And I thought, oh, that's an interesting one. I like that. I very much do like it. It's very much in line with the type of collective readings that I do between the moon messages and who's watching you. But I like that. What secrets should one know? Let's see, another card fell out for family. I have played you. Let's get another card for family. I have sassy. First of all, don't be someone's stomping ground. Two can play a game. And I have magician. Magician energy with family, played you, and sassy. Two can play the game. Oh, my cards fall off. Well, anyway, you get the little yellow slips of paper here. Yeah, I mean, all these readings sort of blend into one another to me. As I said, I don't hold any one reading close. But I like that question. I like that question a lot. Very much a Mystic Moons type of collective reading. And I feel it's something, with my collective readings, I like them to benefit people, right? Benefit a group of people if they have questions, something they're thinking about, something that's bothering them. I want to put out readings that will benefit people in those ways. All right, so I have family. Family played you, sassy magician. Two can play that game. Don't be a doormat. Whatever is pulled at you, you can pull it back. Feedback. Feedback, I'm going to say. I'm not really feeling malicious with played you, but I am feeling like you have a stage to own, so own it. Family with the energies of played you, sassy, and magician. I have show off. I have proposed, and I have pet friendly again. Somebody who is into nurturing, can nurture, does nurture in some way. They could actually have pets, but they also have the ability, the capacity to care. And I have proposed they're going to go and come to you with an offer. Okay. I have a marriage. Someone has very strong marriage energy here. Could it be a union? Well, this could be forming a union. So for those of you who perhaps feel lonely, someone's coming who is capable of nurturing, someone who has a lot of, I'm not going to say game, but a lot of swag, someone who likes to make things fun, someone who's not that serious, someone who definitely has showman or show ladyship qualities. Looks like somebody is going to go and make an offer to be family. Interesting. I will pull one tarot card on that. Let's see. I have Hierophant, bottom of a deck energy, Knight of Swords. So I have Aquarius, Gemini, Taurus energy. Definitely Aquarius, Gemini, and Taurus with that Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords basically means you may not see anything in front of your face right now or nothing that you can count on right now. But that doesn't mean that things are at a true standstill for you right now. How things are for you right now is not how they're going to remain. There's partnership coming, and when that partnership comes, chances are you can move very, very fast. How you are living today could be drastically different than how you will be living in a few months from now. So know that whatever you are dealing with right now, just because, some people do grow into situations gradually. But it doesn't mean that all situations need all the 12 steps to progress to a final end or a final destination that can happen quite quickly. And everybody's relationship ultimately, everybody's path ultimately, everybody's family ultimately has its own unique components. When did I discover my spiritual gifts? I think the first time I discovered it, I was between 3 and 4 years old. And we were moving. And apparently we were in a building where, and we were in an apartment unit where a little before a guy committed suicide. He jumped out of the window. And in this unit, this apartment that we were in, and as we were moving from it, there were a whole bunch of mice that came out. Everything was all moved out from the apartment except for like maybe a few basic things. There was one more trip. And a whole bunch of mice swarmed out. And they ran over. I was told to stay. At that time, I think the bed had already moved to the new place and just the mattress was there. Something like that. Or maybe the bed remained. But I remember being on the bed and told not to go and walk on the floor. And there were all this, like hundreds of mice. Literally, the floor was gray with mice. And they were running over the feet of the adults. That's how much mice there were. And I was told to go to sleep. And as I was, as I said, between 3 and 4, I saw one mouse, a big mouse, come up to the foot of the bed, and it laughed at me. It laughed at me. It was a mouse that was about 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times larger than your average mouse. It was about roughly the size of this cup. It was about this big, that mouse. And it got up on its hind legs and it snickered at me. It did a very evil laugh. And it still freaks me out. I still remember it. I still see it. It stood up on its hind legs and it laughed at me. And I feel like I've always seen really odd things since then. Hello, Gabrielle. Yeah, so that's the first time I realized that I had spiritual gifts. And I've always seen really weird things since then. I see really weird things. I feel really weird things. I spend a lot of time cutting things out. I try not to pay attention to my environment that much. But I feel like I see a lot of things that one should be aware of. But that was the first time I realized I had a gift. I know. And I still feel that being, that energy was like angry. It was angry that we were moving. I mean, there was no mice in the place before, but for that last night, the whole ground was swarming with mice. Swarming. And as I said, somebody had, the last tenant that was in there, he jumped out the window. And there was something also very creepy about the guy that owned the building, too. That mouse, it definitely was an entity. The one that snickered at me, it wasn't a mouse. It wasn't a mouse that just got like walked in by something else. No, it was something, it felt like it was, I don't know if it was a jinn, if it was a ghost, if it was a demon, if it was that person's energy that killed themselves, but it was something that was not at all a mouse. And I feel it was agitating the mice to come up. and it wanted me to see it. It basically wanted me to acknowledge it. It was huge too. As I said, all the other mice were like about this size, maybe like the size of this card. The mice running around, but that other mouse was like that big. And I think I even said, like, when that mouse was there, I think I even said, like, do you see that mouse? It laughed at me. And they were just busy telling me, they just told me to go to sleep, close my eyes, and that they, made sure that the mice didn't come up on me. And needless to say, the whole night they spent keeping the mice off the mattress, off the bed. And when daylight came, when the day broke, dawn came, they all went away. Isn't it? But that's when I first realized that I could see things. And I've seen similar things. I don't feel like I've seen one nice thing. I saw a nice thing last year. I say nice thing, but it wasn't exactly like warm and friendly. It was just neutral and it was powerful. But I feel like I see a lot of things that you have to be, I don't know, like warnings. I don't know. There was another time in which I saw a red spider. I saw the red spider in this houseboat of a man who was a father. He was divorced from his wife, and he had two daughters that were both a little older than me. And I saw red spiders in his place. And then shortly after, he got jaw cancer. And his jaw got hacked off. He literally became a monster. Something. They say that if you read some of those magic books, they say that if you contact the spirits or blah, 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 and if you don't do it correctly, you could have a whole bunch of spiders, a whole bunch of snakes, a whole bunch of mice, etc., right? Come by. Like it's a sign of a calling. But the only thing that was happening was we were moving. And that was our last night there. Do you want to donate for that? What about you, Shireen? When did you start being aware of your gifts? Yeah. But as I said, I don't see nice things. On average, I don't really see nice things. I see lots of warnings. And also too, that friend's father, the father of my friends, who had the red spiders. I also found out something dirty that he did. He did something dirty to his daughters. But before I found out about it, I saw red spiders all over him, all over his house. Big red spiders. And then I saw something creepy. After I heard more and more about him, I saw something creepy in his window. Not him. I saw some entity in his window. Yeah, and he was a pig too. he became a monster with that cancer that ate up his jaw, and it only matched what he was inside. But he had spiders and something creepy that was around him before I found that out. Kept on seeing red spiders. It's like, why am I seeing red spiders? I was probably 11 or 12 at that time. Okay, go and donate, and I will take a look. Very interesting. Yeah, I feel like with what I feel, I kind of feel overwhelmed, like a whole wave of attention that's around me, and I feel like the eyes of the bugs, the mice, people, things, like everything. There's so much attention everywhere possible. And then it's like narrowing it down to, like, yes, you must be eating something. And I'm sure that there are probably mice that are looking at you and going, oh, wow, that human's eating that big sandwich all by themselves. It can't even give me a couple crumbs, right? Hmm. You mean the one with the jaw cancer? Well, he was a dirty man. Of course, he still could be alive or not. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I stopped dealing with his daughters. Essentially, too, he was a very dirty man. He did dirty things, and his wife knew about it. But because he paid the alimony check, the mother still sent her daughters over to fathers so she get that alimony check. She basically sacrificed her daughters for additional money. Yeah, you definitely have to go and ration out just how open and receptive you are. Ah, vision of red eyes. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you could be spiritually open, but it's about being spiritually open to, or being in control of the door, right? You just don't want anyone to come in. You just don't want anything to come in. Mm, not good. Of course, too, red and black are like the colors of initiation. Yes, you can. Send over that donation and I will go and pull for you. Okay. Okay. And of course, if anybody else has any questions, and if you'd like to donate, for a mini pull, that's fine too. Sounds good. Okay, so now I am ready. Cards are all set. Okay, I'll be back in 1 second. Okay. Let's go and see your question. You want to know if it's from Hazel, right? All right. Let's go and see. Six of Swords and the Empress. And since I have a description, I'm going to say yes. Yes. Can't have what exactly in front. Right, there's a distance. There's a distance. Someone is there definitely thinking about things. Is there thinking also too about going the distance? And yet there is also physical distance between you and Hazel. And that definitely is indeed the person who you feel. That is accurate. Yes. I mean, we have the ox there with the stamina, the muscle, the drive. Also, too, ox is very concerned with earthly matters. It appears that way, with feeling agitated that the only thing that can be done is that, with the grudge energy. So I would say yes. That's what's going on. I wonder what Chinese zodiac year he's born in. You have to find out. I'm curious with that ox energy. Is that just the attributes? Is that his actual birth year? Look into the year of the ox for me and see if there's anything there that resonates. I also don't know when the last year of the ox was. Maybe, like sometimes with those zodiac signs, those cards pop up and it refers to the year. Like the year of the snake, for instance, is right now. It could be someone born in the year of the snake, but it could also be referring to something happening this year. I don't know what the year was last year, but if the year of the horse comes up, year of the rabbit, year of this, year of that. It could also be not only someone born in that time, but it could also be something that got started in that year. If something significant happened in that year. Okay. I'll be back in 1 second too. He's year of the goat. I don't think I have the goat. Is a goat like the sheep? I think here I have sheep, ox, and horse for the cloven animals. And the year of the rabbit and the year of the cat are the same. Apparently, only in Southeast Asia they do year of the cat, but because I have cats, I did duplicate that. The Empress with 6 of Swords is basically the journey, waiting for the moment to approach the Empress, waiting for the moment to relax next to the Empress, be in the Empress's company. The distance to the Empress, the planning of the journey to get to the Empress. So would the goat be the sheep or the ox? Now I'm curious because I don't have the goat. Must be either the sheep or the ox. It can't be the horse. But that's what that meant. If anyone else has any other questions as well, I'd be more than happy to pull. And I guess goat must be sheep, right? That's the closest energy to a goat would be closer to a sheep than to an ox, right? Although a goat is so stubborn and so headstrong, very smart, I kind of think they would be more towards ox energy. I don't know. Let's get another message. See, unaware and beware. Someone is calculating. Someone is calculating in love. Someone's ending out a phase. Someone's traveling from their comfort zones because what they want is something different that they have to strategize for. Knight of Cups with calculating. Knight of Cups gets lonely. Someone is lonely. Someone is separate. Oh, look what you did, Shireen. Now all my readings are love readings. You brought the energy of love here. I have now tapped into a wave of love readings. I have a calculating romantic knight. I will say I read my knights as Scorpio energy. Could be somebody with a Scorpio Venus. Could be somebody with significant Scorpio energy or a Scorpio 7th house with calculating. I'm also going to say Scorpio energy in their Mercury, in their Pluto, in their 12th house as well. I know you could be saying those are lots of placements, but we have romantic energy and we have calculating. Somewhere in their chart, they have water. They most likely have Scorpio in those areas. And this person is separate from you. This person is lonely from you. And this person sees you as their ultimate fulfillment. This person with that bottom of a deck energy is prepared or has been preparing to make some big changes, some big movements, closing out phases and anticipation. I'm going to pull 3 more. I have fling and I have predator. And I have nurture. Of course, nurture energy is actually the energy that I wrote when I formed my pair cards of thinking about Emperor and Empress energy. And Emperor defends and Empress nurtures. Let me also call that out. Also, too, nurture does fall into the same sort of energy. What, you want to go up here, little one? You can't go up? There you go. See? You want to go up there? Hello, CMAC. Or, yeah, CMAC. CMAC, you can just send a donation either through Cash App or buy me a coffee. I can definitely do mini readings for you if you don't want a full one. But I would need a donation through either buy me a coffee, works all over the world, or Cash App if you're in the US. So, yes, this person, in fact, I would say it's precisely lonely and separate, is in lonely energy because before they have been forming relationships that purposely has been brief. Purposely, they didn't really see any life or extension to it. But it looks like they're ready to go and change that with the Ten of Swords energy that was there. We'll go on to our next message. I will pull this card from under my cat. My cat says, I'm blessing these cards. Okay. You're welcome, CMAC. And also, too, CMAC, it's a great way to support the channel. My channel isn't monetized, so I do depend upon viewer support. All right. Next message. Let me see if I can get my cat to go up here. Do you want to go up here? Is that not enough room for you? I know, right? I'm almost ready to go and take her little sweater off. Almost. When I take it off, I'll be cutting it. All right, another message. I probably will also do, I think, another reading tonight of messages from the beyond. We'll check that out. Okay, another message, another collective message. What comes out? I have that ox again. And that ox actually, this ox is clarified by block. And this ox is also clarified by like. So, somebody in ox energy is blocked by you. They like you. Excuse me. They have hope that you'll reconnect. Somebody with ox characteristics is affectionate towards you, although right now they can't act on it. Something to think about, something to consider. Who do you know who either matches the characteristics of an ox or shares some alignment, alignment with the birth years of the ox? Next sign I have PETA. So PETA is an attribute. Somebody who is muscular, someone who is tall to average height, someone who definitely is athletic, someone who takes care of themselves, someone who's active, someone who's very good at not only initiating things, but also following through on it. Someone who's very charismatic, someone who's very eager, has lots of energy to share, someone with a lot of fire. PETA is a fire card, a fire attribute. Someone has these characteristics. Now that PETA is foreign to you, or you to them. Could be the way that they speak is different from you. Could be the meals that they eat are different from you. Could be that they speak an entirely different language than you. Could be their culture is entirely different from yours. Something about this person to you and to you to them is completely different. I have new moon. So we are on the eve of the full moon in Scorpio, May 12th. Full moon in Scorpio in Taurus season. Full moon in Scorpio, relishing spring. But the new moon energy is probably going to come later in the month. Of course, we recently did pass a new moon phase about 2 weeks ago, rather. So timing could be relevant here, either something that happened in the last full moon or new moon, or something that's about to happen this coming new moon. Also, to think about new moon, not only is it timing, but it's also initiation. It's a spark of starting something new. New endeavors, new beginnings happen on the new moon. Let's get some more cards. I'm going to go and drink a little bit of water for my voice. So I have somebody who is athletic, muscular, charismatic, strong, determined, someone who's different from you, someone who wants to initiate something either right on the new moon, or that new moon could simply be new beginnings. But however, I always feel these are timing cards as well, timing and situational cards. This could be the one. So keep your eye out for someone who is muscular, someone who is active, someone who's charismatic, someone who has significant fire, or they have the personality of someone who's not at all shy. This person initiates. This person creates and this person can carry through. This person is definitely different from you. Probably different from you in that at a glance you can tell that they're different. They come from a different background than you. This person could be quite significant to you. This person could grow to be quite significant to you. This person you actually could go and form some sort of union with. Also, too, starting something completely new with this person you haven't had before with that person. Doesn't feel like past person energy. This is new stuff. So I have relax. This is coming to you regardless of where you are or what you're doing. There's nothing special you need to do to meet this person. It's just going to happen. Things will be unfolding naturally. I'm going to shuffle this a little bit more. I have admire. Are you admiring this person? Is this person admiring you? Feels mutual. Don't be anxious about love is the message I have here. For some of you, somebody's going to come very effortlessly into your life, and there's going to be a very strong attraction there. It's not something that necessarily you can plan out and anticipate, but it is something that's going to go and happen. Looks like love is coming your way. Love will find you without you doing anything necessarily specific. So I do have fire with Peta. I am going to go, one could say new moon is water, but it's also, as I said before, new beginnings, initiation, which actually could be a water moon energy with fire. I have Ace of Wands. Definitely starting new initiation. I have strength. So I do have Aries. I do have Leo. And I have Hermit. King of Wands, bottom of the deck energy. Which King of Wands is also the energy and attributes of Peta. Or Pitta, however you pronounce it. I think it's Peta. Pitta, Peta. I'm going to say Peta. At least till I look online to remind myself how to say that. Anyway, Ace of Wands, strength, and the Hermit. Basically, someone has this strength to hold out for what they're looking for. And they're going to find admiration in you. Also, too, in this energy, this person has come or is going through quite a distance to meet you. Perhaps likewise, it's been quite the odyssey, quite the trek for likewise you to meet them. Nothing in particular you need to do. because your paths will naturally cross. That's a pretty message. How nice. Let's get another one. But I think I'm going to go and I'm going to go and drink something for a little bit and rest my voice. I'll be back in a little bit. But of course, if anybody is interested in a reading, I can do a mini reading for you. I can do a full reading for you. I'm available. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and let my voice recharge.